Hello everyone, I'm Marty Pospischil.
And I'm Adam Pospischil.
And tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to share a couple of photos and very short stories from Nashville, because we were there this past weekend on a real estate convention.
Absolutely.
Floyd Wickman seminar. Wonderful convention, fantastic. But what a great city. And we thought we'd just pop through a few photos and sort of share what we learned about that great city with you on a very, very short discussion and showing you a couple of things. If you're on a podcast, obviously you're not going to hear these, but you can watch them on our YouTube page as well. Sounds good? Let's get started. Perfect. So there's Adam and I on Broadway, which is the main hub for all of the music, and it's quite interesting. Downtown Nashville. We got the volume on full, so you can hear us talking about Nashville. Look at the excitement there. Look at the police who've got the road blocked off, and all of these clubs all have live music in them. Hey, Adam?
Oh yeah, it's pretty neat. You walk down the street and you can hear all the bands playing all the way down the road, all hours of the day, from 10 a.m. till 3 a.m.
And you got your bluegrass, you got your country, you've got a little bit of pop going on, a little bit of rock and roll, but basically this is the country capital of the world, really.
If you're living in Vancouver, you can kind of picture a street in Gastown, but the buildings are about 50 to 100 years older, so all kind of from the early 1800s.
Yeah, you can see
they've
that.
They've all been done up into sort of 2- and 3-story bars and restaurants and barbecue houses and everything, true to the South, but pretty cool vibe.
And it's a protected area, and to run a bar, a country music bar in this area, you've got to abide by the bylaws, and the bylaws are you must be open and serve alcohol from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And we walk by at 10 in the morning, and there's actually many people in there putting a few brews back, which is
on a
quite
weekday.
Interesting. On a weekday. But lots of action down there, lots of color. Really, really exciting place. What a great place for young bands to get started, hey?
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was quite interesting. And you can see some really, really great heritage signage that's there, probably way back to the 1940s, 50s.
Totally, a lot of it,
this area started
They've
out.
done a great job of keeping the old buildings, some really neat heritage structures.
And this is the Orchid, right?
Yeah.
A bit of a story behind this.
Tootsie's Orchid Lounge.
Yeah, Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. A really cool orchid color by accident. I think she left town, told her painter to just paint the building, do it as inexpensively as he could. He mixed a bunch of colors together, obviously some reds, some whites, etc., and got this sort of orchid color. She came back totally aghast, but people liked it, and it became a major venue for a lot of the country performers that were right around the corner at the
Ryman Auditorium.
Ryman Auditorium.
Where they were doing the Grand Old Opry performance.
Fantastic building, and we'll show you a couple of pictures from that as well. So you see a lot of bands, lot of young people just trying to make their way here in Nashville, which you thought was really cool. He may not make it, I'm not sure, but we'll leave that up to people. And we did have a very rainy evening there one night. I'm talking about the same thing.
I think people thought we were doing a weathercast.
They thought we were doing a weathercast here. They thought we'd get blown away by the rain. But it can rain there. You can see it raining.
Bars up and down the street. So Adam, tell me about the kind of bands and stuff that are coming here.
Well, every single one of these bars, every single one of these hockey clubs has live music. In order to be a hockey club in Nashville, you gotta have live music every day. The bar needs to be open for.
Pretty cool. A couple of things we just covered. Big Dayton store there, you can see. Really cool boots you can pick up. And every single, I love that guy's suit. Did you see that suit? Every single club has a different band playing. So when you walk down the middle of the street, it's quite confusing.
Yes.
You can hear about 10 or 15 bands playing at once, but anyways, pretty cool stuff. And no cover. Every place you walk into, no cover charge.
Yeah, pretty neat.
So you can go to 5, 6, 7 bars and watch all the bands. This is a big place down in the corner. Don't remember the name of this one. Did you see the tractor in the bar? That's actually a tractor converted. And Nashville, it turns out, is the most popular city to hold stags and stagettes in, interestingly enough. And I think that's a stagette right there in the dance floor, starting a bunny hop. That was kind of a neat place to visit. Listen to this guy's accent.
Exactly know, but I know there was time. And you can come right here in 1897 and it all went from the photograph that lady because I believe it. Can you imagine
That's legitimate.
Guys, we didn't even have electricity here until TVA came.
Now, I didn't understand a word that young fella said, but I'll tell you, y'all, it was kind of funny. You know, maybe it shouldn't be really that funny, but it is. You know, y'all, that southern drawl was excellent.
Yeah,
fantastic. And then we had another tour with this guy.
Studio B. That was basically built for Elvis Presley himself in 1957. He did 242 of his hits in there. Now.
And they're singing in the bus, and the bus driver's got her hands off the wheel, swinging back and forth. Pretty crazy tours in Nashville. Recommend them highly. Now, this is the Country Music Hall of Fame. Incredible building, beautifully designed, lots of light going in. You can see lots of venues. It's a little overwhelming for me. I didn't know 3/4, maybe 80% of the stuff that was in there. However, I did see Elvis Presley's gold-plated Cadillac, and it's a really cool vehicle. You can just picture him inside there. That was really neat. Lots of stuff to see in there. And then, of course, there's Goo Goo chocolates, where the very first candy bar was invented in 1912. We happened to bring a box of those back here. The box is empty. We ate them already. I think the licensees got a hold of it. But that was kind of cool. And this is our favorite building, at least my favorite, Adam. Hey, back from the 1885, it was built, and they built cars here from 1910 to 1914, I believe it was, and then it got converted to parts, and before that was a cotton factory, I believe.
Yeah, something like that, textile facility, yeah.
Really great stuff. It's like something you'd see in Yaletown, except completely refurbished. You walk down the middle, they've got the steel floor in there, and then they've got 3 distilleries, 3 really good distilleries in there. We sampled some whiskeys, some moonshines. Oh my God, I've never tasted anything like it.
Yeah.
Like one of them was a mango flavor, the other was a caramel. These flavored whiskeys, different from the stuff that I've tried. Really enjoyable.
Yeah, pretty
Not
cool.
that whiskey isn't enjoyable, but anyways, whole different thing. I'm not a big whiskey.
Just a neat heritage building all the way through.
Oh, great heritage building. And the stories they told about these families was quite interesting.
Yeah.
There's one of the cars, of course, they built in the early 1900s. Really cool area to visit, the Marathon Motors building. Really, really interesting place. Now, this is Printer's Alley. Yeah, and that's in downtown Nashville. And Printer's Alley is full of these nightclubs that you can get dinners at. One of the most popular and famous is the Skull's Rainbow Room. So we went there for dinner, saw sort of a 4-piece playing there. It was great, good food, really neat atmosphere in there.
Yeah, really
and
cool.
a little stage sort of ran right around our table. And the whole alley is lined with these types of restaurants along the way. There's a bit of the food we had. Great venue. Oh, there's Marathon Motors as well. Oh, now you got to listen to this.
I'm Marty Pospischil. I'm not sure if you can see me. It's getting a little bit dark, but Adam and I are in Nashville, Tennessee for a conference, and I wanted to share something with you. I don't know if you watch American Pickers on TV, but it turns out that Mike and Daniela, the stars of the show, actually live in Nashville. And if you look here, this is the store they sell all their antiques in.
Super cool. What a find. I love that show on History Channel.
Right here, share that with you.
This is all the stuff. Right, this is really exciting.
So this is all the stuff that you see in the show. You can see the Triumphs.
You were a hardcore fan.
Oh, the old Triumphs in the early 1900s. Classic. They sell these things for incredible amounts of money.
Yeah. Neat spot to check out if you like antiques, for sure.
I get excited about it.
Obviously, you get excited. I'm talking to myself. So pretty cool find, I thought. Now, unfortunately, Mike, Daniela, they weren't at the store. They do actually come in there. He's off in Florida doing some picking. Great show in the History Channel to watch. I thought that was really cool. Oh, it was one of those classics. And then the Ryman Auditorium. Tell us a little bit about that, Adam.
Yeah, so I mean, this building's made famous by where they had the Grand Ole Opry live show and where they recorded that into a radio show, starting in the 40s all the way up until the 70s, and then kind of outgrew that space. But tons of bluegrass and country music history coming out of this building. It used to be a church, and then it was converted into this auditorium for live music, so it's called the Mother Church. And sort of as a nickname of country music. So
Isn't that
very
cool?
cool building. You know, this is where they say Johnny Cash met June Carter, and they played some of their first songs together. So really neat space, and that bar we were talking about earlier. The Orchid Lounge is right across the lane, so all the
Just down here.
celebrities, yeah,
That's
go
where Broadway is.
hang out there. Pretty cool. So
Yeah.
lots of neat history if you like country music, and to the south, this is kind of the central hub of it all for sure.
Yeah, and that's the radio station, WSM, that aired the Grand Ole Opry. And it started out with gospel music, then evolved into country music, and that's what was born right there. Isn't that
Totally.
cool?
Yeah.
So the story goes, correct me if I'm wrong, they outgrew this space, and then they built a custom space. This is the new Grand Ole Opry house, a little bit out of town, but we went there and we saw a show. Absolutely incredible. There we are in the lobby. And some really great stars have played there. Hundreds of there's Dolly Parton there and
Pretty much
Blake.
anybody who's anybody in country music has played on that stage. So,
That's right.
yeah.
And they're all talking about that circle in the middle. You stand in the
Yeah.
circle. It's kind of famous. But we saw a couple of bands that were there.
Please welcome Rhonda, Vixen, and the Rage.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the Grand Ole Opry.
There's the circle I was talking about.
So they still record live and air every show on the radio.
That's right. You
Yeah.
can see the live lights up in the corner, right?
It's a neat throwback, but
Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, really interesting. Now check how fast this guy's playing. So this is bluegrass, right?
yeah.
Because they got the banjos and stuff in there. Really incredible show. Really high energy. Loved it. That's the Grand Ole Opry. If you go to Nashville, definitely visit that. We've got a whole list of restaurants and stuff that we visited as well. So let us know. She's a Canadian from Saskatchewan. What was her name again?
Tenniel Arts.
Tenniel Arts.
Yeah.
She played a solo after this on the piano. Blew me away. Her
Yeah.
new single hit she's going to be airing in the radio soon. Pretty cool.
Very talented.
Very talented. That was our trip to Nashville. I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit off topic from real estate, but we should add some real estate in there.
Yeah.
Buying a nice 1800s home, undone, east side of Nashville, under $1 million US.
Yeah.
Probably very comparable to the east side of Vancouver.
Similar sized lots, it sounds like too.
Similar sized lots, but if you go to the big lots, 3/4 of an acre on the west side of Nashville, all done up, beautiful.
Yeah.
1800s, early century homes are under $2 million.
And these are big houses on that side of the city.
Big
the giant with the
mansions.
big pillars out front, true Southern colonial style. Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen a few open houses. Next time we go back, we'll definitely
to
do
do
some
it.
opens and videotape them.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Awesome.
Cool. Hope you enjoyed that. Let us know what your thoughts are. Not that we're going to do other city tours for you, but we thought you might find this interesting. Thanks for joining me. I'm Marty.
And I'm Adam. Take care.
Take care.